Welcome back to the Huddle Talking Elizabethton Cyclone Football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. With me is head coach Shawn Witten. Coach, game of life. We always hear it's a game of inches and a game of seconds, and that's really what it came down to last Friday night. Was a game of inches. So close, yet so far away, and I guess if you could, you'd take those 32 seconds back there at the last part of the ball game.
Well, it was. It was our kids fought. It was a relentless effort by our kids. I mean, they executed our game plan, and it was just probably our best effort. You know, and it was a physical football game on both sides. I mean, fighting for every yard, and our guys did a great job. You know, we missed some opportunities early in the game. We couldn't ask for a better start to the game. Drive all the way down to the 1 yard line and didn't get in. 2 plays later, we force a fumble, have to settle for a field goal. So, you know, we ended up being inside the red zone 3 times, come away with 3 points, but still an opportunity late in the game to have a chance first and goal. You know, the chance to tie it up, and you know, we came up short.
Tough night. Of course, kids come back on the bus, come back to Elizabethton with another loss, and again, so close yet so far away. What's going through your mind there in the fourth quarter? You're driving, you got that chance. He's like, okay, guys, we're going to get a Cyclone win here and get back home. And then, of course, we didn't. What was going through your mind on the sideline?
Well, when we got the turnover, and you know, we still had plenty of time to make some drives. It's good for us because we still had a chance to run some ball. You know, even running the ball was extremely tough, and they're keen on Ethan. But you know, the guy had a big game for us was Jeremiah Turner. We inserted him a little bit in the offense as a wing back. You know, setting the edge for us. But you know, we pretty much used every play we had in the playbook, Tom. I mean, we threw halfback passes, we threw halfback screen back to our quarterback, but we had a 4th and 7 play about midfield. You know, where we handed it off to Ethan. Ethan ended up throwing back to Armstrong, ended up getting 15 yards on a play that really got us some momentum. We were able to execute some pass plays. We got some penalties. All of a sudden, we're with them less than a minute inside the red zone, first down, still 2 timeouts left with an opportunity. And, you know, our guys executed when we needed the most. They gave us a chance to win at the end, and that's all you can ask for.
So it was a tough locker room. Obviously, season ends for all these great seniors at Elizabethton High School. So step us through, bring us back, kind of tell us what you told those kids in the locker room in Knoxville.
Well, you know, at halftime, you know, we were right where we needed to be. We kind of frustrated Catholic. We forced them in some penalties. We forced them in some bad situations. We blocked an extra point. We blocked a field goal. You know, we really had a lot of momentum. But, you know, the thing is that we're so close, and that's what we kept telling reminding our kids is, hey, you know, we're right there. We need to be. It's just, you know, one play is going to be the biggest difference. And you know, I mean, we everything that we've worked on throughout the season, every play, execution, we just really needed to tighten up. And, you know, the second half, Catholic had 4 series. We stopped them on 3. You know, so, I mean, we executed about as good as we could. You know, up front, it was our biggest challenges by far. Very tough defensively football team, and Catholic tackled extremely well. And but, you know, we were there. You know, we had our opportunities. Our kids fought our way through, and, you know, it was going to be one play at the end that was going to make the difference.
Back when I played, it was tougher. The close ones stung worse than the ones who went out there and got blown out. I mean, those are hard to swallow, too, because I don't like to lose at anything. But the ones, for me personally, always hurt more when you got that close, yet it's so far away. And I guess that was the same for your guys.
Well, that's exactly what I told the team after the game. You know, sometimes when you lose games like that, you know, on the last play, they're tougher than ones you get blown out in. And, you know, to know that you were there and know that you had a chance, you know, that's you know, as players and coaches, that's the toughest thing, you know. And, you know, you just put through your mind if we would have done this, done that. But, you know, on the first down play, we ran it with Ethan, got to the 7-yard line. On the second down play, we threw a fade to Jalen Smith in the corner. You know, we thought he had a chance to make a play on that, didn't come down with it. Third down, probably should have called timeout, you know, to kind of get us in a better situation. But we tried to throw the backside post to Marcus Olds, and their linebacker made a great play.
So he does remember every play.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those you'll have to think about throughout the year. But, hey, you can't knock and take away from a great season for Elizabethton Cyclones. Coach Witten now again in his 8th season, 64-28 as a head coach. And as a school, the Cyclones playoff record now at 27-24. Of course, they finished 8-3 here in 2014. We'll come back and showcase some of the highlights in that loss to Knox Catholic. Also, we're in a brand new region now. We dropped down to 3A. We'll talk about that with the Cyclones head coach right after this. You're in the huddle with Elizabethton Cyclone football.
Trunk Month is back, and the savings are bigger and better than ever at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. New 2014 Silverado 1500 All-Star double cabs and crew cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 1500 double cab 4x4, $30,420. 1500 crew cab 4x4, $32,905. 1500 regular cab 4x2, $18,995. We have a selection of over 150 new Silverados to choose from, so hurry in for the $10,000 off MSRP, and you will be asking, how do they do that? Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
Wake up to a new, better breakfast. It's Golden Corral's tastier than ever ultimate weekend breakfast buffet. For one low price, it's our new buttermilk pancakes, bacon, sausage, signature omelets, and more. Juice included. It's a better breakfast, and it's only at Golden Corral.
Welcome back in the huddle, talking Elizabethton Cyclone football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Again, Coach, let's pick up the highlights from that tough loss at Knox Catholic, and a kid that's been a strong guy for you down through the years for Elizabethton, your place kicker, Logan Birchfield. Tell us about that field goal.
Well, it's actually his first field goal of the year, 33-yarder. Did a really nice job of – we forced a turnover and couldn't convert, but it was a big play for us, get points on the board, and he's done a fabulous job in his career, and he's been a great kicker, and he came through when we need him the most.
Yep, got a big field goal, and of course that's tough in postseason, and field goal kicking along with punting, it's such a timing issue. Folks just make the assumption, snap the ball, kick it, but we've seen this season a lot of things go wrong on a punt or a point after or a field goal try, so it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it's not. It takes a lot of timing, and it's more about the kicker getting comfortable with the holder, in the snapper. But, Armstrong's our holder. Scotty Oliver does our long snapping, and it's a phase that we work, daily. And when you got a good kicker, and that's been the thing about us in the past, we've had good kickers, and we've been able to execute in those critical moments. And, in playoff games, it's going to come down to the last point, last play, and that's a big part of it.
Second quarter, let's pick up the touchdown run. Caleb Armstrong punches it in from 1 yard out.
Well, we were fortunate enough. We made them turn it over on downs, and we put a good drive together. Got the ball down on the 2. We quarterback sneaked it. Got closer, and then we went ahead and did it again. But great effort by our guys of, punching it in. And like I said, we got down there a couple times and didn't score, but we needed to convert, and our line came through, and we got a good push by Armstrong.
Last touchdown of the night. This is a thing of beauty too. This is one of those highlight films. The way he caught it, and again shows the athleticism of number 7. Jeremiah Turner caught this pass from Caleb and set this one up.
Well, we, like I said before, we inserted Jeremiah Turner as a wingback throughout the game. We went from a spread set, kept coming down to a tight set, just trying to mix it up, but we were able to get him into the middle 2 or 3 times on a catch, and he made a heck of a one-handed catch, tap back into himself. But Jeremiah he's a go-to guy. He was the guy that last year against South, we swung him out of the backfield to win game, and we had some plays on the game plan for Jeremiah to get him involved. We threw a screen to him earlier in the game, but he's a go-to guy. He's a big-time playmaker, and not had a lot of offense this year, but we kept him involved and had a couple plays we went to him, and he came through and made a big play for us.
You hammered the ball again last Friday night, 50 carries for 212 yards. You actually outrushed Knox Catholic. They had more passing yards, but 50 carries, and obviously number 28 got a lot of those.
Well, Ethan, did a great job of, we kept down a distance in our favor. We actually, like I said, we didn't convert 3 fourth down conversions, but that's our game. We're better when it's 3rd and 6, it's 3rd and 5 than being 3rd and 12. We're better when we have the opportunity that we can mix in the run and pass, and we gave the ball to Jones had a big game. Armstrong had a big game with his feet. They were keying so much on Ethan that other guys were able to get loose, and that's a credit to him. And we knew going in there going to try to stop him, but we had some big plays from number 11. We had big plays by Armstrong's feet. He's probably the most productive he's been all year in his feet. So we had a great game plan. Our kids executed, and and when our guys are called, like always, they come through when we need them the most.
Talking to Coach Witten again, we're talking Cyclone football. You're in the huddle. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. So going forward, your seniors, which kids? Obviously, we talked about this earlier in the season on our shows here. That Ethan's getting some looks. I would assume his stock will go up now. He got down there and got a chance to see folks in Knoxville. Got a chance to see him, and who are some other kids who are getting some looks?
Well, we got our left tackle, Chris Cyphers, is a big guy. You know, he does a good job of playing the run, done the run and the pass. He's got some smaller looks, Tuscaloosa, TSU. Marcus Olds has kind of came on and, you know, become a two-way player for us at corner and at receiver. He's got a lot of yards after the catch. And Logan Birchfield's getting some opportunities, got a strong leg there. Armstrong's, you know, got some athletic ability that, you know, if he gets in the right system, he become a good player. So we got a number of guys that the seniors. While we have a class of 21, so you got a lot of guys that have been coached and have been in a good program, and you know feel that they have the attributes and the physical skills to go on and play at the next level.
This senior class has given the Cyclone Nation a lot of thrills. It's been a very successful senior class.
Well, yeah, it's tough, you know, when you lose the last two games, and you know, obviously it's always great to go out as conference champs. But this group has done a lot for our program, done a lot for this community, and you know the way that they've played the last 2 weeks, you know they got nothing to be proud of, you know, be ashamed of, and you know we love those guys that you know last 4 years have been great. You know, to have 21 seniors, you know, just stick together and stay through this whole 4 years. It's awesome to have, and we're going to miss a lot of those guys.
We'll take a quick break, come right back, and we'll take a look at 2015. It'll be here before you know it because we'll start workouts and conditioning pretty soon and start getting the weight room this winter to get stronger and bigger here at Elizabethton. Also, as we said earlier, dropping down to 3A, a brand new region. We'll talk about that with Coach Witten. So we'll come back with our final segment in the huddle talking Elizabethton Cyclone football.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Welcome back into the huddle. Get our final segment again, talking to Coach Witten, kind of wrapping up this season. And Coach, you finish 8-3. We lose 20, as you said earlier, 21 great seniors that did a great job representing Elizabethton Cyclone football. Now you go to 2015, and tell me some of the kids you're looking forward to coming back next year.
Well, we feel strong about the guys that we've got coming back. You know, our JV and freshman teams did exceptionally well this year, and you know we had a lot of young guys that got up some big minutes. But you know, two big guys come back as Jeremiah Turner on offense and defense, Caleb Jones at running back, who had a lot of good minutes this year. Jalen Smith gives us some size and playmaking ability on the outside. Drew Bowers was a starter at free safety this year, played all 11 games, and you know had some big moments and big plays there. You know we got some, you know, probably going to get most of our defensive line back. Scotty Oliver, Johnny Ray Woodby, two big guys inside. You know we got a couple of good freshman linemen that have a lot of good potential, and Cameron Coleman, Chandler Mullins, Luke Hyder. You know, we've got some other guys, Russell Carter, Luke White. You know, we feel that we got some guys that can continue to, you know, they're going to be tough spots to replace, but we feel that we got the guys that are ready to do that. Mark Chesler is going to anchor the offensive line at left guard. You know, as we got Caleb Whitehead at right tackle is going to give some opportunity. Preston Whitehead at tight end. So we feel that we got some key guys in the leadership. You know, the biggest thing when you lose 21 seniors is where's the leadership going to come from, regardless of who's coming back. Is, you know, where's those guys in the locker room? Where those coaches, you know, they're going to help the young guys and that sort of thing. But we feel strong. We got, you know, Jeremiah Turner's brother, Jacob Turner, got a lot of young minutes at quarterback and in the JV team and at wide receiver. So, you know, we got some people that we feel strongly about to help us get back to being a conference championship team.
Of course, Duggar, well, those kids will come on up through the ranks and start playing down in the lower classes, but they'll be up here soon enough on the varsity side. So lots of optimism going forward. Now, you put them in the weight room. What do they do now between now and the
Well,
spring?
we're off usually till about Christmas break. We'll get them back in before Christmas break on 2 or 3 weeks, just get them acclimated back in the weightlifting. We got some good coaches that kind of, get them off to a good start, get the foundation set, and that way after Christmas break we're ready to go. But, we're fortunate. Our middle school program last year went 8-2. The only 2 losses were to Greenville twice, but they had a strong year at the middle school program, so that's a lot of expectation of those guys coming in and being 9th graders. So the more guys we can get involved and get them in there working, and our guys usually do a good job of an off-season program. Once they get in there and they see their body changing, and they get stronger, they like getting in there and getting after it. But we're excited about those guys, and if they can learn and all the things that they went through this year, and see the tough games, and watch some of the older guys go through the way that they go through practice and get ready to play, then we feel that we'll have a strong program next year as well.
Of course, there's an extra buzz in Elizabethton because you're building a new football stadium. Should be ready next year, and that's it's got everybody kind of buzzing and jacked up because we're going to play in a brand new facility.
Well, it's going to be great. Being down here at the high school, right next to close to our locker room, we can go right out there and get on it. The turf is always exciting there to get out there and always have a great place to practice and play. And that's just going to be a lot of excitement. We're chomping at the bit, waiting for any day to see a bulldozer out there, and so we're just excited. We hope that. We know it's going to be, when it's all said and done, it's going to be a great facility, and we're proud that not only for football but the other sports as well. It's just going to be a great asset to our school.
Coach Wilson told me a couple of weeks ago when we went to lunch, he said for every season ticket holder in Elizabethton at Brown Children's Stadium, there's like 2 or 3 in waiting for every ticket. So every seat that's already occupied going to be able to sell more. Of course, that's going to help the program too. So a lot of buzz in Elizabethton, and of course, you, as we said earlier, you go to a new region, Region 1 3A. Tell me about it.
Well, it's going to be definitely different for us. I think it's exciting to play new teams and teams we haven't played before, but honestly, it's it's tough to leave those rivals that you've created for a long period of time. And with an 8-team region, it's only going to leave us 3 non-conference games. So trying to get who those best matchups are, and sometimes those non-conference games are teams you usually played, you're not going to get to see them anymore, and it's hard to send those guys off. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be great entering a new stadium and a new league and preparing for different people that we've not gotten to play for. It's going to be great to put our program out there and let people see what Elizabethton football is about, and it's definitely a new challenge for us, and so it's exciting, and obviously probably a lot more travel, distance, and that sort of thing, going to different locations. But, it's an opportunity for us. And, when TWA put us into 3A, it was a tough decision for us to where to opt up to go to 4A or stay 3A. But, it's what's best for the program. It's what's best for the kids. And, it's like a football team that we had this year. I mean, we got a great team this year, Tom. And, to be exited out in the first round is tough. We feel that we should still be playing, and, the opportunity to get down the road, and that's what's great, and when our girls basketball team wins a state, puts a lot of, you want to be able to get down the road, and being in 3A, hopefully we get a chance to do that.
The teams will be Chucky Doak, Claiborne, Elizabethton, Johnson County, Northview Academy, Pigeon Forge, Unicoi County, and West Green will be the new Region 1 3A. That'll go for what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, Coach, in closing here, I want to say thanks because I've done this for a while, and not every time does a coach want to come on, or will they come on and talk after they had an early exit in a game they thought they should have won. So I appreciate you still want to talk about your kids and promote the program. Not easy to do, let's face it. You thought you had a game plan, and we all thought you had a game plan to get down there and knock off a good team. It just didn't happen. Sun came up in Elizabeth, and life goes on, but not every coach will do what you did, and I appreciate you doing it.
Well, we got some great kids here, Tom, and when those guys – put all the work in for you, and they go out there and try to do the things you ask them to do, and all season long. I mean, it's you want to thank those guys and let them know that everything's appreciated, and it's a great for our program, and we went down there and put up a good fight. It didn't work out for us, but it's exciting, and those guys got nothing to be ashamed of.
Left it all on the field.
Yep.
Looking forward to working with you next year.
All right, but it sounds great.
Go Cyclones. Merry Christmas to you. A little early, but happy holidays. Merry Christmas
Appreciate
to
it.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good man right there. Appreciate him. Shawn Witten, again, the head coach of the Elizabethton Cyclone football team. Quick break. We'll come right back and talk to the athletic director, Mike Wilson. Find out about fall sports. Had a great fall sport run here at Elizabethton. Now we're transitioning into winter sports. And as Coach Witten alluded to, state championship basketball. Coach Duggar's back to defend his crown. So we'll talk about the winter sports coming up and more right after this in the huddle, talking Elizabethton Cyclone football and Elizabethton Cyclone sports.
Truck Month is back, and the savings are bigger and better than ever at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. New 2014 Silverado 1500 All-Star double cabs and crew cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 1500 double cab 4x4, $30,420. 1500 crew cab 4x4, $32,905. 1500 regular cab 4x2, $18,995. We have a selection of over 150 new Silverados to choose from, so hurry in for the $10,000 off MSRP, and you will be asking, how do they do that? Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
Welcome back, talking Elizabethton High School sports. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. We just got done with Coach Witten, and tough segment, but again, I appreciate him. As I said earlier in the show, not every coach will come talk when their kids have lost it and laid it out on the line and give it all they had. Just kept a little short against a good Knox Catholic team. And here's our athletic director, Mike Wilson. And Coach, you've had a great fall run. The football team went 8-3 and had a tough finish, and certainly not where they wanted to end up. But as he said, the sun comes up in Elizabethton last Saturday, and life goes on. But the fall sports program in Elizabeth, you've had a good run so far.
Oh, yeah, we did. I was really proud of our football team at Catholic. Catholic's very talented. They've got a lot of talent. They had a great quarterback, a great running back, a lot of speed. And I want to tell you something. We had a chance to win that game. We had it late, deep in their territory, and we turned it over. But I will promise you, we had them. They were sweating BBs over there. We could easily have won that football game. And I really was proud of our kids. It's probably the best effort we had all year.
You look at soccer. You look at volleyball here in the fall. Cross country. Tell us about those sports.
Well, girls soccer played in the sub-state, and we lost to Knox Catholic, who won the state tournament. And I believe that the score was 3-0. I think we played them tougher than anybody did in the state tournament. So I was really pleased with our girls soccer program, and they improved quite a bit from the beginning of the year, which is typical of Bill McClay's teams. Well, Bill does a great job coaching soccer, and we're very fortunate to have Bill here because I don't think, honestly, anyone else on our coaching staff would be able to coach soccer. I'm not sure that a lot of our coaches would know how many players are on the field, but Bill does a super job, and he's got a great program every year. They're up there, so you go out here and look on the wall at all the plaques with soccer for district and region champions and so forth. So he does a tremendous job. Volleyball won over 20 matches this year, which I think is the most they've ever won. And I might have to eat those words because we had a team that I think won 20 or 21 matches a couple of years ago. But they had a good year, a really solid year. And in cross country, we had our girls team was regional champions. Well, not the team, but we had the individual. It was Macy Shell was regional champion. And our team placed third, which qualified our girls team for the state. And we did that without one of our best runners. Heather Fuchenberger had a sprained ankle, tore her ankle up in an earlier meet, and she was right there with Macy. So, I mean, we really have a strong girls cross-country program, and they're coming back. So, in our boys team, we also had a good showing there. So we had a great fall campaign, we lost to South there in football at the end of the year, but there's no shame in that. I mean, South's
it's a heck of a ball game.
Well, and one thing I love about the football league we were in is having South in there. I mean, you have to have people like that if you're going to get better. They push you. So it's been a great rivalry with us in South, which I really hate to see come to an end with the new alignment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. We're talking athletic director Mike Wilson here at Elizabethton. So, Coach, we transition from the fall to the winter. Last week we had Coach Duggar on and Coach Honeycutt on the show talking about the upcoming hoop season. Obviously, everybody knows that Lynn brought back the state championship to Elizabethton, which was awesome for all of us here in Northeast Tennessee. So, you have those two coming up, boys and girls basketball. What other winter sports do we have at Elizabethton?
Well, we have swimming and wrestling, and we swim meet opened up season that night with a win over Unicoi County. And our wrestling team, getting excited about that. We had a really good group of junior high wrestlers last year, and they're in. And one of the things we've had here, we've always had some good individuals, but we've not had enough kids sometimes to fill all the weight classes, and you have to forfeit matches, and that really hurts you. It's the same as a pin. You know, you get so many points for pinning your opponent, and when you can't fill the classes, you're just giving those points up.
That's right.
Even if a kid doesn't win his match, if he avoids getting pinned, it helps your team.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't. It's not as bad for your team as a pinfall or a forfeit. So this year, I think we have every weight class except one covered, which will be the most weight classes we've covered in a long time. So I think, you know, Coach Shipley's building the wrestling program and getting more kids involved. Coach Hathaway is working hard with swimming, and I'm girls and boys basketball. Obviously, we have the defending state champion. We did graduate one player, but it was our point guard, Sarah Bradley. So, you know, point guard is kind of like your quarterback. That's not like, well, we just replaced, you know, we just graduated one kid. We graduated a point guard, and so somebody's going to have to fill that void, step up, and be the one. And that's a tough job, but Lynn he'll find a way. You know, and he's got a lot of talent out there, obviously. And the boys team, I'm very excited about our boys team. I think our boys have a chance to win the conference championship, and we'll certainly compete for that. The thing with basketball, though, you know, you never know, one injury to the wrong individual, and it changes everything, especially for smaller schools.
Talking to Coach Wilson again about the Elizabethton athletic program. A lot of buzz in Elizabethton, new football stadium. No Coach Witten, we talked about it in our previous segment. Very excited about getting to that new stadium, again, the turf and the state-of-the-art facility, and a lot of buzz here about this stadium coming.
Yes, and that's been a long process, and, you know, Mr. Alexander's pushed that, and it's been a lot of work just to get to the point where we are, that all the legal hurdles have been cleared. The school board approval, the city council allocating funding, and the planning commission approving the plans for the stadium, and we're still out actively pursuing donors, and we have acquired quite a few of those. So it's been exciting, and the great thing, I think, a lot of people came to us and said, well, we don't want it to be like this stadium or that stadium because you're so far back from the field. And it's kind of a sad thing that we didn't have the funding to put the track in. But we wanted that desperately, and I know that's something Mr. Alexander wanted to get done. And we can still do that at some point in the future, but it will be not inside the football stadium. It'll be where it is now. But we can get a good rubberized surface. But the thing about the stadium, with the track not being there, the stands are actually closer to the field. And I think it's almost like it is truly a football stadium in that it was, you know, it's going to look like it's almost designed just to watch football. Obviously, soccer will play in there as well. But we're very excited. We have more seating on the home side. I've got a waiting list of hundreds of names for season tickets, which we will now be able, I think, to meet that demand. The great thing here, too, you know, talking about tickets, one thing for us is our band. We have 140 kids in our band, and those parents want season tickets. We've got, I think, 80-some in the junior high band. That's staggering to me that we have 80-some kids in the junior high band. That's just unbelievable. And every one of those 8th grade kids, when they leave TAW or they come to the high school, their parents are calling, wanting tickets. And it's been the toughest thing for me over the years has been putting people on a waiting list. And I'm not making this up. It's at least a 4 or 5 year wait to get a ticket. And we've had people tell me they've waited as long as 7 years to get tickets. So, you know, we're going to be able to take care of that, and obviously not to mention what that's going to do for the revenue of the program.
Well, when you come to Elizabethton football game, it's very obvious. It's an event. A lot of tailgating going on, so it's more than just a game. It's a chance to, as most schools are, they get around and hobnob and get reacquainted and build relationships and go into the game. So it's the whole atmosphere of the brand new field here at Elizabethton. Also, before I let you go, new region. Again, you're going to drop down to 3A, and give us your thoughts on the new region for the Elizabethton Cyclone program.
Well, it's has nothing to do with the folks that we're in the region with. They're all, wonderful schools and all of that. But the travel,
Exactly.
the travel is devastating. It's going to be tough on the band. It's going to be tough on our fans. I'm not a big fan of the new alignment, and I think when we all voted on six classification sounds good, but you didn't have all the information in front of you. You didn't have this is what the regions are going to look like. And I think a lot of schools, if they had known what they'd be looking at, would have had second thoughts about 6 classifications. I'm not a fan. I don't think it's good. I do not think what we're doing now is good for the member schools.
I think you're right.
I think it's good for the TSSAA in the short term, but I don't think anything that is against the best interest of the member schools ultimately is good for the TSSAA either. I don't see how this is good at all. I just don't.
Jump on a bus on a Friday night, take a band and cheerleaders and dance team and whomever down to Pigeon Forge. It's a long haul on a school bus to come back. And last time I checked, filling up a school bus, it ain't cheap. It's probably not going to get any cheaper. So, yeah, there's a lot of financial scenarios. It's going to be tough.
And, if we're not happy, imagine the folks in Pigeon Forge. And they've got to go Johnson County, Unicoi County, Elizabethton. If we're not happy, Johnson County and Pigeon Forge can't be happy, and Claiborne County, and God bless them. The travel they're going to have to go through. I understand leveling the playing field, and we're playing against schools that are our size. I get all that, and that's a noble effort. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is going to work out very well for the member schools. I think people are going to be hurting financially. And I'll tell you something. When you do things that decrease the number of fans that show up, you're not growing the sport. I don't know. How many people from Johnson City are going to – where do they – Bradley Central? Really? I mean, and the game start at 7:30, and a guy works till 5. He's going to get off work, load up his family. How long does it take to get to Chattanooga?
About 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours. He's already missed kickoff.
Not going to happen.
If you're going to eat, and look at the cost, $5-6 a ticket now, family of 4, that's $24. You're going to eat. You're going to spend all that money traveling to the game back and forth on gasoline. I don't see how this is going to be good for anything. I just am not a fan.
We'll have to wait and see how the dust clears, but we do know this. Cyclones are in this new Region 1 3A, and they'll get ready to play football. Is it just football only or all the sports?
Thankfully, it's football only. It's just football only, and it's a 2-year thing, and I'll be shocked if they don't have a lot of opposition to this. But my fear is that it's worse for East Tennessee than it is anywhere else in the state. I hate to sound like sour grapes, but it's like Middle Tennessee's taken care of, and West Tennessee's taken care of. There's a district in West Tennessee, or region in West Tennessee has 5 teams in AAA. So they're not going to have to. We're the ones. I think where a lot
paying
of this.
The price.
Yep, I think we are, and
yep.
I don't like it, but nothing we can do about it.
Play the cards dealt you. Do the best you can, right?
It's all you can do. We'll be very competitive. We'll hold our own, I think, with those teams. But and again, I have nothing against Pigeon Forge or anybody else. And I think they would express the same concerns. We have a meeting tomorrow, and I'm anxious to hear from them.
We'll continue to promote the Cyclones. Either way, we appreciate you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Give me some taters.
You got it.
Some taters.
Yeah.
That's going to do it. Again, we enjoy coming over here and talking Elizabethton Cyclone sports, whether it's Perry Elliott, the band director, or cross country. We've had basketball coaches on, certainly Coach Witten and our athletic director, Coach Wilson. So we appreciate these folks coming to talk about Elizabethton Cyclone sports. And so till we have another show down the road somewhere very, very soon, as we will always tell you, this is Tom Taylor telling you, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching Elizabethton Cyclone sports. So long, everybody.